What is up, guys? German Muscle back with another video, and today's video is part 2 on how to fix rust on any car. This is on my E46 BMW. This method would work on any car. So here we go. It'll be the first time I'm opening the door since last night. What? Alright, so yesterday's video, I had to end the video short because there's a lot of people walking around in the background, yelling stuff, and it's just, yeah, so, and also the paint wasn't dry, so I had to wait for the paint to dry. I don't think it got any on the, nope, can't see none anyway. There's a car parked really close to mine, so I can't open up the door all the way. But first thing that you want to do, see, I already know that this is dry completely, so take a piece of 400 grit sandpaper. And if you guys use a lot of sandpaper, like you rip it off like how I do, how you can only see like right there 400, this is the best way to tell if you're using 400, because compared to all the other sandpapers, the 400 is darker. This is 80 plus. You guys can see 80 plus. This is 400. This would be like 15 or 2000. That's 2000. And then there's another 2000. So yeah, anyway, what you want to do is grab your 400 and start sanding down the overspray. I showed you guys in yesterday's video how to remove overspray. There's a few different ways. So you guys just want to lightly sand this, because most of the time, like if you guys tape off an area and then start spray painting, it'll leave like a hard line. But if you guys just use rags like I did in yesterday's video, it don't really leave a line. You just want to try to like feather all the primer in one spot and kind of sand it down a little bit, just so it's extra smooth for the paint. Just grab you guys a tack cloth. Mine has alcohol on it. That's just to clean the area. Alcohol dries really fast, so pretty much cleans and sterilizes the area, just so it gets all the dust and all that stuff off, so you have a clean, fresh paint. Alright guys, so after you get it all sanded down and wiped down with a tack cloth, you're going to get your spray paint. This spray paint can is really old. I used it a few months ago to paint my doors. I actually didn't know I had some left, but there's like a tiny little bit left in here. And just like yesterday's video, I don't care about overspray because I can get that off. These door sowls are kind of tricky to get off. You have to have like a certain plastic tool to go underneath there and pop the tabs out. I don't want to break mine, so I'm just gonna leave it on. And alright guys, so I know some of you guys in the comment section below is gonna say some dumb stuff, but I don't care. This is one way I'm gonna do it. I don't have tape, so I don't feel like running to the store real quick. Like I said, I know how to deal with overspray. It's easy. So you just want to lay a light coat of paint, probably like that right there. Let that dry for like 15-20 minutes, and then come back with another coat. Okay, so while I'm letting that paint dry, it's still on the first coat, by the way. So while I'm letting the paint dry, I'm just going to go ahead and try to sand this one down. This is really bad, so I'm going to go ahead and knock this one out, and then hopefully get it primered. And then once I get it primered, I'll just throw another coat on that one, and I'll see you guys in a minute. Alright guys, so this is as good as this is going to get with sandpaper, by hand anyway. what you want to do is try to get all the rust out as much as you can. Some people will come through with some Bondo, because if you guys look real close, I know I need to do this bottom side too, but if the camera will pick it up, there's like a bunch of indentations in this, like you see right there. So some people, they'll come through with some Bondo and like fill this in, but this is on a door jamb, and you know, like I said, this person is parked really close to my car, so I can't really open up my door all the way. And mixing Bondo it's easy. It's just, you know, it's time consuming, because you gotta like mix it up and then lay it down, and then you gotta sand down the Bondo, and then you gotta recreate the lines right here. This is like an indentation right here, like a valley almost, and then these are like hills. The top parts are like hills, and if you have too much Bondo right there and you go to shut the door's not going to shut all the way. It can possibly bend the hinges, so I'm not going to worry about putting Bondo in just yet. I'm just going to lay down some primer and then paint it a little bit, and then like later on I'll do it right. This is just like a quick and easy fix. Like if you guys have rust spots like I did on my car, and you guys just want to like temporary fix them, just do what I'm doing. I will make videos in the future on how to apply Bondo and stuff like that, and how to like fix holes and stuff. So stay tuned for that. I want to throw some primer on this, give this another coat of paint, and I'll see you guys in a minute. Alright guys, so after you wipe this down with alcohol to sterilize the metal, this is just some cheap stuff I found it laying around. Primer, it doesn't matter. Some people, if you want like a really good look, use self-etching primer and some glazing putty, because like glazing putty is just something, it's sort of like Bondo. You can fill in these little imperfections right here. Like I said, I'm not worried about overspray because I can get it off. I showed you guys in the last video, so here we go. Just lay a light coat. Yeah, there's overspray all over, but like I said, I can get that off. While we're at it, I'm gonna go ahead and paint this side again. Nice coat. Let everything dry. Come back, inspect your work. This is going to need another coat. This may or may not need another coat. That's why you have to inspect it. So, in a previous video, I said I'm not worried about these rags right here because they are full of dirt and stuff from using on my car and carpet. I got new ones, so I'm not worried about them. I either wash them or just throw them away because I do have new ones. So, don't cringe. I know this is probably a cringy video for most of you guys that know how to do body work professionally. This is just a little quick tip. I am in a parking lot, so I can't really do much with the Bondo and stuff, so bear with me, guys. Alright guys, so while the paint is drying, the primer is still drying, and the actual paint itself is drying, I went ahead and took the rag. This does have alcohol and water on it, and just like lightly scrub around the area where there was a bunch of overspray at. If you guys watched the video before this part right here, you guys can see that there's overspray like all over this whole entire area. Really bad down here. Got it off easy. Only thing you have to do is get you a rag like this, terry cloth, microfiber rag, whatever. This does have water on it and alcohol, so you know, just lightly rub it. Or if it's like really tough to get off, like put some medium to light pressure on it, and it'll come off. Even if it's like really thick paint, it'll still come off. You just gotta rub it a little harder, but it still does come off. So I'm gonna try to get this door sill off and clean off the overspray that's on the top part over here, and then when all this dries, I'll show you guys how to blend this in so that this matches, because right now this side is darker than this side. And then you guys can see it right there. But this is just a little quick tip on how to, you know, cover up rust. Usually what people do is a big mistake. They'll see rust and they'll just automatically paint over it. That is what you don't want to do, because if you paint over rust, it will just, you know, it'll form, it'll come back through. I'll show you guys. Alright guys, so if you just paint over rust, it comes back through. This is primer behind it and then paint. And like I said, I didn't do a very good job when I sanded it down, because BMW metal, for some reason, it's really weird. It's like almost like lead when you're sanding it down. Like it crumbles when you're sanding it when you have really bad rust problems. So if you don't sand it down all the way, get rid of all the rust, it does come back. And this is what I mean by, if you guys don't sand down the primer. I didn't sand down the primer, so it bled through. So now I'm gonna have to go through and sand all this completely down again, feather it down, and then spray paint it black again. So, and don't worry about this, it's all repairable. So this is the only car I've ever had problems on, where I'm sanding down the metal and it just like crumbles. Like it looks like lead and it just crumbles. So pretty much like that brick right there, it crumbles like that. And so I don't know if it's just the way that the metal is, or if someone tried to fix it before me and they used something that I'm not aware of, or if it's just BMW metal itself, because I've never had problems where the metal just crumbles like that. So that's what happens if you guys don't sand the rust all the way down. It does come back. Just quick tip. Alright guys, so once you wipe off all the overspray, just scrub it with a rag. You want to take your 400 grit sandpaper. Like I said earlier in the video, if you guys rip your sandpaper apart like this to where it doesn't have the number on it, you could just take a Sharpie or like a pencil and just mark what grit it is, or you can just do it the easy way and just look how dark the grit is, and that'll tell you that this is 400. So let's go ahead and start sanding. You want to make sure that this is completely dry before you start sanding. And yesterday's video, I thought it was all the way dry, and I started sanding on it and it wasn't dry. It started showing bare metal through while I was sanding. So then I had to spray another coat on. So just make sure that your guys' paint is completely dry before you start sanding on it, or you'll have to wipe everything off with alcohol, let it dry, and then come back and lay another coat of primer down. So, and make sure you guys lay, you know, pretty heavy coats of primer. This is just 2 coats. I can see already that there's raw metal showing. So just make sure that you use a lot of primer, and so just use a lot of primer and then sand down all the edge marks, the edge lines and stuff. And don't worry, if you guys want to fix scratches in your car, like say there's a big old scratch right here, you take some 400 grit and you sand it down. It'll come out looking like this right here. And then you take like 1,000, and then 1,500, and then 3,000, or no, 2,000, and then 3,000, and just, you know, keep going over and over and over it. And then it'll still look like this, but it'll look a little bit darker. And then you guys can just take some compound and just buff it out, and it'll look, you know, basically brand new. That's one tip. I'll show you guys in a later video. Right now I'm just going to get rid of all this right here, try to fix all the rust problems while I still have daylight today.